The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello there and welcome to the show. This is Propaganda, our weekly tour of the football fan channels. It's available in your podcast app. You can also find it on YouTube as well. Your pilot for today's trip is Pilot Normanton, yes.
All right, fine.
I'm First Officer Moylan here at the controls. Also, we have Dean, who will be moving through the cabin, Dean Smith, serving a variety of drinks and snacks.
I don't want any scratch cards.
No scratch cards?
No scratch cards for me, thank you.
Any peanut allergies that I need to know about?
Probably. But your official job title will be Trolley Dolly.
Gorgeous.
That's very modern way of approaching things.
I did wear my heels today, so that
That's
works.
good, because I was going to say, if you don't mind, we will be slapping you on the arse playfully when you come into the cockpit.
Don't do that to the trolleyman.
I would like you to laugh coquettishly whilst you totter around on your heels.
Okay, right. So we're in the 70s today. Lovely.
Well, we've just released our Admiral 70s gear.
We have.
For the 50th anniversary, of becoming European champions this year. There's some clobber on the website, thesquareball.net. We've done a collab with Admiral. It's 70s flavoured, and it's very, very nice indeed. Check out the podcast from this week as well that we've done, the Road to the Final. And there's a bookazine out as well, which is exciting, about all that, about us becoming champions of Europe.
I will just say, it's not printed yet. It's for May, is this stuff.
Right.
It's all ordered. It's all done. Don't get us wrong. It's all done, but it's not arrived yet. It's being printed and made and stuff.
Good. So you tutter down there, love. You go get me a cup of coffee, Pet. All right.
Levi solicitors need to get involved in this.
Workplace discrimination?
Indeed. I don't know if that's one of the things.
Probably.
Because I don't know all the services as well as I should for someone who's been reading this for as long as I have. But, I mean, you can get your wills, your probate, your conveyancing, your services for your business, for you, 10% discount.
They do employment law.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, yeah. Good.
So if you've been slapped on the arse by a sexist pilot and you're a snackstress, get in touch with them.
Snackstress.
Okay. I think you managed to do a worse job of the read than me, so
right.
Well done.
Well, levisolicitors.co.uk/thesquareball, 10% discount on your full range of legal services.
Correct.
It's all you need to know.
Good.
Right, go on then, pilot.
Right.
What altitude are we flying at? Where are we heading?
We're going to Teesside or North Yorkshire, first of all, depending on what you want to call it. AJT, who is this bloke. Play the clip and you'll know the bloke.
You play Leeds, and you think to yourself, you know what? I want to beat these. It's just for pride anyway, because everyone hates Leeds, and I'm not even saying that to be respectful. I hate Leeds, truthfully, and I can't wait till he comes to the Riverside, honestly, because the guy threw the coin at my belly. I hope I see you, truth. I hope you come and chuck a coin back at my belly when I stood in front of you, because I hate this club, I hate this stadium. This here, right, is like my frigging granddad's shed, mate, old and rotten and dead. Just like your fans, truthfully. Your club is going nowhere. Come out your history. Stop banging on about your history and, a famous club, and stop singing around me and putting me off this interview. Disrespectful. You're awful, so is your mum. Do you know what I mean? This here, right? This here is not a special stadium. You go to Ayresome Park. Ayresome Park literally craps all over this, mate. Truthfully, doesn't it? You got these 40,000 fans and all these things march on together. Whether it's marching like Aldi for your frigging 99p bargains. You're not a big club no more. You're not a big club. Listen, your frigging sound system in your stadium, you're trying to announce things, and it's going all cuckoo, man. It's giving me a frigging headache. And listen, your songs give me a headache. Your fans are ugly. Your stadium's minging. And listen, you're not going up. So, yeah, well done for beating us today. Round of applause for your 3 points. But I tell you now, you're not going to be better than Borough, ever. Your history's not better than Borough, so forget about this 2002 semi-final in the Champions League. Yeah, you're frigging here to become bankrupt like frigging Sunderland, so, you know what I mean? Up to you, is that the League One, or just admit that you're rubbish. Come on, your history.
That was a challenging way to start the show there, Captain.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That guy. That was after...
I hate Leeds United.
That was after a 2-1 win at Ellen Road in 2017.
Just a couple of points to address there. Stop going on about your history, and then mentions that Middlesbrough's history is better than ours. And says Ayresome Park is better than Ellen Road. Ayresome Park's a housing estate now, I'm fairly sure.
I suppose you went to it, didn't you?
Ayresome Park, yeah.
You nearly got crushed there.
Yeah, I was there, yeah. The crush in 1989, months after the Hillsborough disaster. Yeah. Proper laugh-a-minute stuff when that was going on, yeah. Children being dragged over the spikes at the front of the corner. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, mate. Imagine that through. I would have been 12, I think. Oh, no, 11, sorry. Seeing that through 11-year-old eyes when you know that 90-odd people have just died.
No, thanks.
And nobody can move in your corner.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, Ayresome Park, fucking great. Next,
ugly fans as well. I wouldn't have gone with that line if I was him in particular. But
I just think he paints such a beautiful world with his pictures. The guy who threw a coin at me belly. It's just, I can see it so clearly. Just the bounce of the coin. Pound coin comes smashing back towards that guy's glasses. Fantastic.
people throwing coins at him like he's the fucking Trevi fountain.
Yeah, making a wish.
Yeah. Next, so is it him again?
it's him again.
Right.
This is yeah.
Is this going to be as tiring?
No, actually, he still tries a bit, but he's
given up. Has he given up hope?
He's largely given up.
Tonight, Borough versus Leeds United. Playing a pretty small team tonight, aren't we, in Leeds? But you know, these always like to be up for the game, don't they? Probably bring a fair few fans as well on the big day out. So I think we'll see what happens. But I fancy us tonight. I'm going to go 2-1 the Borough.
Dead behind the eyes. You can hear it, can't you?
It's a slight attempt at baiting people, isn't it? But
Yeah, something's happened to him.
it's just like, it's a big game for them. I know it's not true, but still, if you could clip this up again, if you want. Otherwise, don't matter really.
Like and subscribe.
Just listen to the clip when I had more enthusiasm before I was jaded. It was a bit of a clickbait title actually, because I was hoping for more of the same, truth be told, because the title of the video was "Lucky Leeds take all 3 points," but then he says this at full time and he just doesn't really say that.
Full time as I lead the Riverside Stadium. Leeds United 1, Middlesbrough 0. It was a frustrating night, to be honest with you, under the lights. They go ahead pretty early in the first 2 minutes. Yeah, they go ahead pretty early in the first 2 minutes, and then we just couldn't come up with an answer, could we? We tried and pushed, and nothing will get through, unfortunately for us. It's a frustrating night at the office. We try to break them down, but as I said before, they're very, very well drilled. And, they actually surprised me tonight of how well organised they actually are. But, they took the chance. We kind of got away with one for their second goal, which was the offside, which looking back was onside. And I don't know if Bamford's was on or off. Of course, ours was off from ours. So 3 disallowed goals and a 1-0 win for them.
Sounds a bit hopeless, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which does figure, I suppose.
I mean, but it's only 8 years since the clip we heard at the start. Like, I hope he's all right.
I think maybe that was an away day and he'd had a few.
Yeah.
Right. There we go.
The fire and passion of a young man diminished.
He'd had a few drinks.
Like you, Michael, innit?
Someone had thrown a coin at his belly. He was upset people were singing songs while he was trying to record his bit.
Yeah, he'd had 6 pints of Foster's. Someone's hitting with a 50p in the mush.
50p?
Yeah, yeah.
Bit much. He sounds like he's a little bit distracted in that, almost like he's either scrolling through his phone at the same time or he's seen somebody off in the distance and he's kind of just still talking to camera while he's spotted his mate over there. I'm just going to carry on.
Yeah, lucky Leeds. He didn't really address it, did he? Which was a shame.
Unlucky Leeds cheated by Darren Williams.
Someone who thinks we were a bit lucky, though. Bonkers for Borough with Phil Spencer, who's not the location man.
That'd be good if it was.
It'd be quite a twist, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If it was that guy.
Has he brought Kirsty Allsop?
I don't believe so. She's busy making some tat. So, but this is he's got I would say quite a biased opinion on the game, but we'll see what you think.
Middlesbrough certainly had more opportunities than Leeds. They certainly had more of the attacking intent, but Leeds did just seem to have that slightly more ruthless streak when they got into the final third. They looked a little bit more dangerous, looked a little bit more likely to make something happen when they got there. Leeds also had 2 goals disallowed. One through Tanaka, the midfielder, and one through Patrick Bamford, who came on as a substitute, scored right in front of the Red Faction, but his goal was ruled out as a result of offside. To huge cheers around the Riverside Stadium. He didn't get a particularly warm reception when he came on the pitch at the Riverside Stadium, and who can blame fans for being annoyed at that one? So, yeah, it was a disappointing night for Middlesbrough in terms of the result. Leeds will feel like they could have won in a more dominant way as a result of having those goals disallowed. But I think for Middlesbrough, I think they can feel hard done to, really. I think a defeat probably wasn't really fair. I think a draw might have been the fair result based on the balance of play.
I mean, fair enough, I think, most of that.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Because I think he downplays it a lot, because he said we were a bit more likely to make something happen. We scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
We did score 3 goals.
Bigger question, though, what would you do with a £500,000 budget if you were looking at the Cotswolds?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I bet you won't get much there.
No, not for $500,000. No, not Coswaltz.
Yeah.
The thing that disappointed me about this clip is I got really excited because it's called Bonkers for Borough. So I thought, he's going to have loads of sound effects. There's going to be confetti. He's going to have a spinning bow tie.
Yeah.
He's going to be wacky. He's crazy. And then he just comes on. Yeah, so that was a game at the Riverside there. He's mis-selling us there.
I was hoping for a bonkers breakfast show.
I was.
With a bonkers sidekick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's what you are to me, Michael, in many ways.
Thank you very much. Trying my best. Goal in front of the... did he call it the Red Faction?
I believe so, yeah.
That's their little...
Sounds quite Soviet, doesn't it? Mind you, a lot of Teesside does look... Anyway,
that's the little bit behind the goal. They were like 4 flags and a drum.
I was going to say that's why they have the drum.
Is this like the Palace fans cosplaying?
Oh, it's loads smaller,
right?
I shouldn't really ever go, but then I find myself doing it because I'm aware atmospheres in modern stadiums are kind of dying.
Yeah,
and part of me does think more should be done. But come on, lads.
Yeah,
like the drum, the big flags. It's all a bit.
Take those cheap shots, Michael.
Okay, fine.
Take them.
I think it's tin pot.
Yeah.
I went to a game at the Valley a couple of Christmases ago. Some of my family down south of Charlton, season ticket holders, and I was sat right in front of the guy with the fucking drum there.
Oh God!
And it was bizarre. But he was in like this trance. This guy, for the full 90 minutes, he was just like staring forward, looked out of his fucking mind, just going like he didn't see any of the game. As far as
like it was a fucking ayahuasca ceremony or something.
Big time. And I kept turning around trying to passive aggressively like look over my shoulders and like, you do requests? Yeah. You shut the fuck up for a minute. But he wasn't there. He wasn't present.
Maybe that's the game Borough's like.
You know, you've been doing bang, 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 bang. Could you do bang, 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 bang instead?
Probably have spice rather than ayahuasca in Borough. probably a bit more budget friendly. Getting the whole and not bothering the rituals. Get a bit smacked up.
Ritual staggering around near the bus station.
Exactly. Yeah. Like a zombie.
Yeah. Next.
But I will talk about the linesman for a second because Darren Williams, the flagman, was covered obviously that he's not very good at his job. It is his first season in the Championship.
Last one as well.
Well, possibly. He's done 4 of our games this year.
Yep.
And against Luton in the game at Ellen Road, he managed not to disallow a good goal. So that was good. If you think about it that way, in one of the 4 games, he didn't disallow a perfectly good goal.
So what's that? Is that a 20% success rate?
So that's no, one of 4's 25 now.
Is it right?
We just talked about maths before we started recording. You said you were quite good at it. And then you don't.
Has he not ruled out 4 of ours? Okay.
What do you think your hit record is in this studio?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean? Do you think that 1 in 4 performances are good from you?
Oh, less.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
What are we talking? 1 in 20?
If you get 1 a season out of me, it's
all right.
It's pretty good.
Mike, you're a solid 5 out of 10 man, aren't you?
Yeah,
4?
Some days.
4 out of 10?
4 out of 10's fine.
Yeah.
4 out of 10's fine. But I looked then to see what else he'd done.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'll look back and see if he's made any other mistakes. Do you know how far back I had to look? 3 days.
Oh.
He allowed a Coventry goal, which at the time we obviously would have approved of. I've put a still of it on the sheet here.
Right.
The man who is the Coventry player who is literally the nearest person to the goal line, not even the goalkeeper is there, is behind him. He puts the ball in the net and he allows that goal.
Wow.
So
you are kidding me.
So Outanaka offside, this guy onside. If you just look up the highlights for Burnley against Coventry.
Well, what we'll do is if we send this to Lee, our video editor, we'll get the still put on the video version.
Don't put the video on. We'll get
a copyright strike.
Booted.
Yeah, and we won't get 3 pence of revenue.
Yeah, but the offside rule for anyone who doesn't know it, like if someone like Darren Williams, if he's the idea is they've got to be 2 players, but there's kind of an assumption one of them's the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
but in this occasion, there's no one, absolutely no one. The goalkeeper's not in his goal. The defender's closing someone down. So then when the ball falls to this guy, he's the furthest player forward.
It seems to me like old Dizzle Wizzle struggles with people moving as well, which is also part of the game.
This one's worse than the Tanaka one.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's a bad week.
The standard of refereeing kind of generally across football, or British football anyway, at the minute is really poor. And I think this chap, Darren Williams, kind of sums it up a little bit. Just feels like it's guesswork so much of the time. And I don't want to go all Roy Keane on it, but it's your fucking job.
And not only that, like getting out of the Championship and the revenues that are attached to it. And that's not his responsibility, but it's the truth of the situation. It's worth hundreds of millions of pounds. And you've got incompetent fucksticks like Williams just flags whenever he fancies.
Although every time he's disallowed,
in my opinion, Darren, if you, you've got the right to reply if you want it.
Every time he's disallowed one of our goals, we've gone on to win the game.
True.
So
is he a lucky charm?
Maybe he needs to run the line every damn week.
Maybe he's a Sheffield United fan because he's disallowing our goals. He's allowing goals against Burnley.
Yeah,
that shouldn't have stood.
There we go.
He seems to be from. I couldn't find out where he's from. I think he's from the northeast. I found some references to him like refereeing games up in sort of more regional leagues up there,
which is where he's destined for. Huh?
So yeah, that was refereeing though, and now he seems to have moved to lining,
flagmaning.
Maybe he's got main character syndrome, so he just thinks it's all about him, and so he wants to put his flag up no matter what. Apart from in this instance,
a bit more hot ref chat. Have you seen who the ref is for the Preston game? Which we're going to preview the Preston game a little bit later in the week tomorrow. However, the ref is John Busby, who refereed the away game at Preston and failed to send off that guy.
Yeah.
And we got another letter from the PGMOL saying, "Oh yeah, you're right. We were naughty and did it wrong," or whatever they write.
That's what I think. That's it, really.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, and actually, as much as that sort of annoys me, I think it might work in our favour with the home crowd.
Dan, wait and see. wait and see.
He's not going to stand there and give us blatantly give us a penalty that's not a penalty, but it might just be in his head enough that I did these lot wrong last time and I feel like I need to correct it. Just a really low level of.
Michael is not up for your speculating with optimism.
Because is it in his head that I need to make sure I don't do that?
Right. I think the other because that's better. Unless
it goes the back and forth a few times.
This is a conversation for another day.
Okay. Let's go, as that was against Burnley, let's hear from Burnley, Turfcast, who were firmly Eustace.
Did we officially coin that? Is it a verb? An adverb? Being Eustace did?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we weren't great, were we? Let's be fair. No complaints about the result. I thought Derby deserved the point. What I will say, I thought the first 30 minutes, we were excellent. We were passing it around really well. Zian had that chance that he should have scored. There was another chance as well. I can't remember exactly who it was off the top of my head. And we could have easily been 2-0 up after 30 minutes. But then Derby just got control, didn't they? And in that last 15 minutes of the first half, we were hanging on, and I was desperate for half time. And I'm thinking, right, go and regroup now and get better in the second half. And it just didn't. It just didn't get any better. Proper Eustace game that, and I'm not criticising the style of play at all. You got to do what you got to do. Fair play to him and fair play to Eustace. They turned it into a battle. The Derby County, and unfortunately we couldn't handle it. I thought our wingers didn't get any joy. I thought midfield weren't great, and we just didn't really get into it.
I know people don't always like the stats and stuff, but having looked at the momentum graph of that game, it pretty much reflects what he's just said there.
So well done him.
Well done. Yeah, he's quite reasonable as the Turfcast chap. Possibly not what we need on this show. We want the unhinged lunatics, don't we? But the momentum graph shows a good spell of pressure for them in the first half. Then either side of half time, Derby had a real spell of pressure, and then it seemed to descend into a bit of a midfield grind for the remainder of the game, which is fine by me.
I'm just so happy that we don't have to play John Eustace's Derby County between now and the end of the season, or whenever he came in, because it would just be. I mean, I was going to say it'd be 0-0, but it's a 1-0 win for them, written all over it.
Yeah, if we had to play down there, it'd be awful.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got the soft version, didn't we?
Yeah.
Although we did get to play the difficult version of Blackburn. Because you won't mind playing them now, would you?
No,
You'd just be like, it's fine.
They've gone off a cliff. It's hilarious.
Yeah. He's actually, he might be the best manager in the league.
In the world?
Well, it's possible. Eustace for England.
Is that right?
So he was grinding out some 1-0 wins in San Marino. Everyone will be absolutely furious about it.
Yeah, Blackburn, no wins in 5. 4 defeats followed by a draw.
And they beat us.
Yeah. Never mind.
Let's not dwell on that. Let's look forward, not back. Next, Michael, where are we going, Captain?
Let's have a bit of time with Sheffield United, because Burnley they're still top 2.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a good run. Drawing against the John Eustace team, it's fine. Sheffield United, however,
Wild are out.
Have lost. It's their turn, basically, to do this. It's what we were doing last week, for the most part. But they lost to Oxford, then they've lost to Millwall. So the first clip is Chris Wilder in the press conference after Oxford when he had some things to say about their fans.
There has been some criticism online, and there was some members of the away end in the stands that were gesticulating and venting a few frustrations. But
do you know what? I think it's an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace to the players that represent the football club and what they've done this season. So maybe before I was talking to my media guy, maybe he told me to stay away from it. But now I meet it head on, and it's a joke. It's a disgrace. So that's what you think of the players when we do have the good days. Don't be clapping. Go home. Be consistent. So I appreciate all the support that we've had all season away from home. They've been outstanding at home as well. And we'll need it on Tuesday night because we've got to lift the players again because they're disappointed about what happened on Saturday. We had an opportunity of breaking a club record that's lasted about 350 years on Saturday afternoon, and we just wasn't good enough. If it was happening every other week, if it was the group that I inherited last season that turned it in, didn't really want to, miles off of it, all that stuff, then I get that. But not this group. Not this group. Don't do it to them. Don't do it to me.
Football's insane, isn't it? Because they've got 85 points on the board this year, barring the 2-point deduction, same as us and same as Burnley. Just it's been achieved in a slightly different way. And as we were saying, like, it's the order in which things happen that often influence your opinion on football. I don't know about you, but I've formed kind of a narrative around this. You know, you do this, you start telling yourself stories thinking, well, because Wilder's got a slight lack of emotional control and he's had a little pop at their fans, then that's exactly what I was basing my hope of a Millwall win at Bramall Lane on, was that. And it came to pass. So now I've told myself, well, they're in terminal decline and they'll never win again.
It seems likely.
Yeah.
League One, year after, probably.
They'll never win for 350 years.
And suddenly...
Good claim, that.
I know.
Predates the invention of football.
Suddenly they're going to Plymouth at the weekend. Plymouth, who are bottom and 5 points adrift now of safety and have been, like, ostensibly terrible.
They lost, didn't they, yesterday?
Yeah. And then I'm going, right, well, that's a really tough fixture. Because if that was us in that situation, we'd be looking at it in exactly the same way. However, I'm looking at it for us at the end of the season and going, well, they'll be down by then, so that'll be easy.
I think a point would be fine. I'd allow Plymouth
they
to
should settle for a point.
Yeah.
Right.
Plymouth and Sheffield United, a point each.
A good point on the road.
Good point on the road.
As Daniel Farker might say.
And as everyone agreed with.
We did, didn't we?
Everyone went, yeah. Bang on.
I'd not heard this clip before, right, until just now.
No, I'd read bits of it, but I'd not heard it.
And the thing that's really striking for me, because we're just listening to it, I'm not seeing it, sounds like his voice is breaking a little bit. Sounds like he's getting a little bit emotional about the boys.
I think he is hurt.
Yeah, he's clearly hurt.
Because when he says, he goes, don't do it to the players, then he goes, don't do it to me, actually.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it, how Daniel Farker is very, very even with his mood and how he has referred to us as an emotional club. Did you see that he escalated that a little bit? I think it was in the wake of the Luton game where he said we're the most emotional club in the UK, which stands to reason.
Well, didn't he say we were the most emotional club in Western Europe at some point as well?
Yeah, something like that.
I think he's right.
Yeah.
Well, they're being told you're being too emotional when you're being emotional.
Yeah.
Tends to not land well, doesn't it?
No.
You always try that with Mrs. Michael.
You just need to... You need to calm down. That always really settles things, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Phil says that.
Yeah. Look, you're upset now.
Everyone's seen. If you're outside a pub and anything's kicking off, just go, you need to calm down, mate. And everything. And then people will go, actually, you're right, yeah.
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 No, he's right.
Imagine if the journalist had said to Wilder then, have you tried not giving a fuck about it? See what he'd done.
Well, his press man's obviously said, he mentions it, doesn't he? He says...
Kevin Pressman.
The Kevin Pressman has said to him, he's waddled into the room from Wednesday, and he's obviously probably in the room with him now, and he's going, he's talking about it, fucking great. we went through this, and I told him, and we agree, but no, he's going for it. Fine. The
Pressman's thinking Bryn Law's going to be spinning in his urn if he was dead. Yeah. All this media training, and here he is talking like this. Unbelievable.
Because I think Bryn said, I told him don't say stuff like this. I'm paraphrasing. But definitely don't say stuff like that, Chris.
Yeah, I don't stand on the table singing sausage roll when you beat Sheffield Wednesday as well. Although I did think that was funny.
Yeah.
Well, for me, right, I like this level of honesty. Like, I mean, if he was our manager, I'd be like, fuck off, mate. We're allowed to be upset about things. Yeah. But I like that a manager doesn't come out and say, a tough game. I like that he's come out and said, why are they slagging us off? We're doing really well.
I look back on my reaction post Swansea, having won at Middlesbrough, when I just wanted to fold probably the universe, I think. And yeah, am I embarrassed as a grown man? Yes, I am. Am I ever going to go back and listen to it? No. Am I going to ignore it and pretend it never happened? Yes. As is my right as a child watching football, which is what I am.
I have said this on shows over the last few weeks. It's okay to feel things.
Mm-hmm.
And we should. Indeed, we should. We should lead ourselves towards whatever the feelings are. If you feel good now, great. Post Swansea, you felt shit. So have a shout. It's all good.
That's what I did.
I know you did.
Really leaned into it. I feel better now, though.
Good for you.
Good.
Yeah. And I can't imagine any problems between now and May the 3rd.
Oh, no, smooth. Plain sailing.
Yeah.
Plain sailing. As you mentioned there, actually, how they actually have got as many points as us in terms of what they've won. Sheffield United way pretty much is reflecting on this and how much moods can change game to game, and there are probably more of them.
We'd have been top of the league tonight if we'd have won. It's just bonkers. It's just bonkers. But yeah, if I'm looking right, Leeds are top of the league. Like, how has that even happened after 3 draws in a row? But if I'm looking at the form table of us, Burnley, and Leeds have lost 0 in the last 5. Burnley's lost 0 in the last 5, and we've lost 2. So we don't really deserve to be top. We don't deserve to be second. We deserve to be right where we are, 3rd in the table. It was rubbish tonight.
Yep, he's right.
And that's the way momentum works too.
Yeah.
You look at ours and you go, we're going to draw every game now. And they're going, well, we'll lose every game now.
Yeah.
The rest of the season almost doesn't matter at this point, does it?
No.
The thing is, it's been that tight. In a lot of ways, the rest of the season doesn't matter. It just comes down to week by week at this stage, doesn't it? It's.
I mean, there's a real lack of, again, I've said before, I really like how Wikipedia deals with the season results by colour coding them, because it just gives you a real visual sense of what the season's been like. So little red on ours. You know, you have to go back to Burnley at home, September. Millwall was November. Blackburn was November. And Portsmouth, March. It's a lot of green. A little bit too much yellow recently, but, you know, broadly speaking, it's all right. Portsmouth. So do you remember when we lost to Portsmouth? And I did say that I hoped they went down just for, again, childish, petty reasons.
No, same. I hope them and Luton go down because they've taken points off us recently and it's made me sad.
I mean, it could happen with Portsmouth. They've got a better goal. No, they haven't got a better goal difference. They're only 3 points off the drop. One of the worst goal differences in that particular part of the table. So
Derby looked done at that point. So, but Derby's resurgence has put them in quite a bit of danger.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I've got much love for Derby, but we've beaten them twice this year. So I'm willing to forgive it.
There are bigger crimes to address.
Yeah, exactly. That bloke with the bell, fuck off, get yourself to League One.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's all beneath us. I don't really give a flying shit about anyone other than us, Burnley, Sheffield United.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, if the nice thing happens and we go up, I don't care about them too either.
Yeah. But next year there'll be an irrelevance to us as we charge up the table towards a comfortable mid-table finish. Well, possible trouble in the European places.
We're going to hear from some newly promoted fans in a minute. So
newly promoted or newly relegated?
Yeah, a bit of both. You can probably count them as both. So this is Sheffield United way talking about Wilder and his comments after the Oxford game and then his team selection that followed.
Wilder's got to take a lot of the blame tonight, in all honesty, for that starting lineup. He had some choice words to say about the fans. I went to Oxford, as you well know. I saw one guy have a go at Gus. I think it wasn't Gus. Kind of had a bit of a go back, which Vinny Souza kind of pulled him back. That's all I saw. Wilder called the fans a disgrace, I believe it was. I think the wording was too much. I didn't see a section of the fans have a go at the players. I saw one guy. I might be wrong. There might have been a section, but I think Wilder handled that completely wrong, in all honesty. I love the guy, and I love the guy for talking from his heart, and he always does. And he called out the fans. I'm not sure that was the right thing to do. He called us a disgrace, like I said. I think he could have just said that was a bit disappointing or something like that. He didn't need to go in as much as what he did. And then looking at the starting lineup, the reason why, the segue into, talking about that was the fact that Wilder, after that abysmal performance against Oxford, he went for the exact same team. Like, I felt like that was 2 fingers up to the fans. And it was kind of a little bit like, go on, lads, you prove that you deserve your shirt again after that dismal performance against Oxford. And they didn't show it, did they? They did not show it.
Blades are falling apart again.
Let's not sing that. No. Let's just not sing any falling apart songs.
No.
Until
we're promoted.
Until there's a mathematical certainty.
Yeah.
And I'm talking game over. I'm not talking 2-0 up, 90 minutes on the clock.
So there's a little green P next to our name.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we found his media officer.
Yes. Yeah.
You should have been saying this. I think this was a bit strong.
Yeah.
You could have been disappointed instead of it was. He's a worrisome boy.
It's right though, you know. He's absolutely right. You want your manager to have more emotional control than to start digging out sections of your fan base, because if and when it goes wrong, it catalyzes everything. It just has more fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we'd never do that.
No,
God no.
God no. So this is him. The final clip from him is him reading out comments from the chat on YouTube. It's just some venting. It's them having the week we had.
So this is just to make us feel better.
What do we really expect? I challenge any Blade to tell me more than half a dozen games where we've actually played well this season. The 1-0 wins have run out and we're getting found out now. That's from Rye1. Are we, the fans, allowed to have an opinion yet, Chris? That much attacking options and zero clue on how to build pressure, attack and hurt teams. There we go. Matthew's taking the gloves off there. I don't blame you. Dismal display yet again. We give the ball away too easily. To be honest, I hope we don't go up. We're not at all good enough. That's what Mike says. Bricktop's also saying he has no plan B. All that talent at his disposal, I've got to agree. I have. Because he's bringing on Tom Cannon, Callum O'Hare, Holding, who's a Premier League defender, Vinny Souza and Raksake, and we still can't find a goal.
Having said the other week that I thought all the chickens were coming home to roost about not signing anybody in January, pointing out that like Sheffield United had signed players and stuff, I want to say signing players is bad.
Signing Tom Cannon is bad.
Too many. They're spoiled for choice. Don't know what to do with it. Finished.
What happens there? Did they buy 2 completely random wingers who've been bought on like the say-so of some algorithm?
Oh, algorithm, yeah.
I don't think they've played it all, have they?
Don't know.
I don't recall seeing them.
You're not telling me that Chris Wilder is standing for that. It's like, I'm not playing players who you picked for me by algorithm.
They train with the like 13-year-olds, aren't they? Yeah. Just as punishment for daring to be picked from a computer game.
What was really interesting about that though, if we like stuck that through some sort of AI and just got it to translate it into our voices and put Leeds players in place of, so instead of Tom Cannon, Vinny Souza, it would have said Matteo Joseph, Ramazani. That is exactly where we were a week ago.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
I know, Dean, stop bringing it up, all right?
There was a bit as well later on. It was kind of long-winded, but there was a bit where someone said, does anyone actually think we'll go up if we're in the playoffs? And they were all like, no, obviously not.
Yeah.
Sheffield United do have a bad playoff record. It's as bad as ours.
Right.
I think they've been in them 8 times and not gone up.
But like this is what I was saying. This is what I've been saying.
What?
People have...
Give him his medal, Michael.
I just, like...
Stop. We know you're right, but we're not here to be reasonable and correct, Dean. We're here to be stupid.
But I'm here to challenge you. I'm here to challenge you for the BBC, right? Because we have balance here at the BBC. This kind of fan reaction is universal.
Yeah,
it's universal, and I find comfort in that. Right? We are a reactionary, emotional club, as Farker has talked about, as we know very well. But this makes me feel better because it's not just us having a bad time.
That's why we do it.
And 2 defeats in a row. We've not had that this season, have we?
No, yeah. God no.
And 2 defeats in a row, that really does trigger. Oh, well, that's all done then.
Well, that's what we're
going to lose every game now.
It's exactly what we're saying about the momentum and how that swings, and you suddenly feel like you're never going to win again, and you don't know how to win.
I was about to say that doesn't happen, but then I've got a Southampton clip. So it kind of can happen.
I can't wait.
It can happen. They're just sad. Actually, is the main thing.
Good. Do you know what? Because I was sad at the end of last season, so it's your turn.
Yeah, so they are now officially relegated. Still not quite over the line for Derby's record, are they? They're on 10.
Yeah. But you imagine now it's over. They had to play with some freedom and overturn the record. They'll get 12 or whatever, 13, 14, which will be a shame. or they'll just get nothing for the rest of the season.
If it was us,
because they're on the beach.
Would you rather have the record? I feel like I'd almost take a small amount of pride in being like, yeah, that was an all-time worst season, and I was there for it. There's a bit of history.
Yeah, I suppose if you could, because if you hate the board or the ownership or whoever you blame for it, you go, well, we deserve that. I want them to have that record, not us.
Because going down on 12,
it's your record. Though.
Going down on 10 points or 12 points doesn't really make any difference, does it?
No.
Get the record, I say.
Yeah, I
think they should go for it. I believe in him.
Yeah,
no. Makes me feel icky.
I'd aim for a points deduction, see if you can finish the season on minus points.
Just going to administration for a laugh.
Going to administration, maybe some real ill discipline. Turn up with not enough players or something.
Right. Stop paying all the canteen stuff.
Yeah, just something like that.
Yeah. Or pretend, because I think they probably deserve to be paid.
No, just stop paying them.
All right.
Yep.
I don't want people to default on their mortgages just so we can have a laugh.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Cruel.
It's the Premier League, isn't it?
True.
Ruthless. Cutthroat.
All right, Jim Ratcliffe.
Yeah. That
Right.
sort of thing.
Next.
Yeah, so they were relegated. By the point of them conceding a late goal to Crystal Palace, they weren't actually relegated. And I don't have a clip of the goal going in because I had a little smirk when it was a 92nd minute Crystal Palace equaliser. I did actually go to the clip for that, but there was just silence.
Right.
Neither of them say anything. They just both sit there and go, yeah. yeah. That's it. Just watching it. Just watching the ball go
It's
in.
like that scene in a movie where the doctor will come in the room and the family are sat there waiting, and the doctor doesn't say anything. It's just a knowing nod, silent nod, and it just confirms that
that's kind of
it's over.
Yeah, but there was very much a it's over vibe before the game because this is them talking about the team.
Jay, you've seen the lineups. Anything to say?
No. You look at it and you think, all right, but what difference does it make? What does it really mean? Who there? You're like, thank God they're back in the squad. Woo! That's going to make a big difference. It's not. It's just dire, mate. Like, I don't know what else you can be doing really at this point. I mean, if it is done by Sunday, who's turning up for the rest of the season?
Well, I think maybe we might go on a little bit around. I certainly hope so. But I, for one, haven't seen my team win in the league. Would you believe? It's the 16th of April, 2024, because, of course, we can't bring in the playoff round. And I was on holiday for the Everton game, and I was skiing for the Ipswich game.
Oh, must be nice.
I know.
Skiing, bloody hell.
£2. That's his YouTube money coming in.
All right.
This is the energy that I wanted from Bonkers for Borough, where his mate was like, oh, look, this is who's back in the team. Woo! Some real gallows humour.
Have you got anything to say? No.
No.
Yeah.
It's just some men on a bit of paper.
He's got a point, hasn't he? When you're that far cut off, what do you think of the team? Who gives a fuck?
And it's a season where realistically probably no one's played well.
Yeah.
So it's just some people coming in, some people going out.
I'm going to treat myself to a quick look at Southampton's Wikipedia page for this season.
Well, hold on a minute.
Just to see the bread.
Don't they have a lad that they've just slapped £100 million price tag on?
Oh, they do, yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. Of course it will, lads, yeah.
Dibby or Dobby or Dibbly.
Dibbling. Tyler Dibbling. Yeah, and he does go to most of the games as well. Oh. So he just happens to have missed their 2 wins.
That's great.
So he's on for a year without seeing them win.
My God.
My word, this is tragic and I love it. 1, 2,
just
three,
a load of red.
4, 5. There are 6 games all season to this point where they've picked anything up at all.
Oh.
So what we got to look forward to next season, boys?
We'll be miles better, mate.
We'll be at least Ipswich levels.
We'll piss it.
The whole league?
Yeah, Europe at least.
Wow.
60 points.
65.
Wow, okay.
Wow, yeah.
By Christmas.
Good.
Should we hear from Ipswich?
Let's.
They're the least relegated of the relegated teams.
But they are going to be relegated.
But they did lose to Wolves, which ultimately has meant they're effectively relegated.
Before we play the clip, I'm just going to have a quick look at the Premier League table.
Okay.
Just for no reason other than a bit of Schadenfreude, really.
Yeah. It's all done.
Yeah, no, they're going down. Yeah. There's 12 points adrift, inferior goal difference by a mile on Wolves, who've got 32 points, Ipswich have got 20. They're going down.
Correct.
Yeah.
So let's hear from, it's Alex Griffin, it's the young lad Gaffer, and some other people.
This is my favourite.
I love this guy.
Start, Oscar. Go on, Oscar.
Well, yeah, first half, very good. Obviously, Delap bagging another goal. But second half, it was just really, really poor. And, you know, we paid for it. Wolves, not by much, but they are a slightly better team. And we paid for it, to be honest. So, Yeah, very disheartening, to be honest, and that's pretty much all I've got to say.
That just wasn't a sign of a team that wanted to stay up today. It didn't look like to me from start to finish like Ipswich wanted to win that game. It really didn't.
Duncan, are you still positive? I thought we were the better team in the first half. In the second half, we weren't the better team. They looked like they wanted it more than we did, in a sense. I mean, I know our players are trying hard, but, they took their chances, didn't they? They had 2 fantastic chances and took them. Want to say anything else? Do you think we can stay out this season, or do you think it's done now?
We've got to beat Chelsea. Oh, come on, Duncan.
It's still
done, mate.
not mathematically impossible, but it requires us to play out of our skins.
We need an absolute miracle from above. We need every team to get to the 100 points.
Beat Chelsea, beat Arsenal, we'll be right.
Oscar, any more words?
The fight at home at the minute at Portman Road just simply isn't good enough compared to what we are away. Like Duncan said, at Bournemouth, the fight was amazing. We fought for the badge.
The fight in the Wolves away end was better than the fight on the pitch.
But the fight today was just simply not good enough for Ipswich standards.
He's got more maturity than Chris Wilder.
I wrote that exact thing down.
He's got more poison maturity than Chris Wilder does.
Although he laughed at someone else's comment then, that was a bit unprofessional of him.
You think?
He should really keep a straight face with that stuff. People expect more.
He's got more media training than Chris Wilder.
Hey, do you know what? I'm looking at Ipswich's Wikipedia page for this season, and barring, they've got 4 draws on the bounce after 2 defeats in the opening 2 games. And apart from that, it's pretty much like Southampton's. It's not good.
Yeah, they're all over the place. One of those guys there said, we need a miracle from above. And I just really like the idea of God, if he, they, she exists, thinking, do you know what? I'm going to sort Ipswich out. With everything that's going on in the world right now,
yeah.
Ipswich, there's me focus.
Could do Palestine, could do malaria.
Yeah.
It's going to be Ipswich.
Yeah.
Ipswich Town. That's where my focus is going to be.
Thank you, omniscient, omnipresent being. Their fixtures, the running for Ipswich. They've got Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away, Everton away, Brentford at home. So they might pick something up there against a League One club.
Maybe. It sounds like 0 points to me.
And
though.
then this is the chef's kiss, Leicester versus Ipswich, the second to last game of the season, which will just have an air of farce, tragedy, funeral, perhaps, that one.
Yeah, ridiculous. Nil point.
Yeah, and then they finish up at home to West Ham at the back end of the season. Lovely.
Yeah, we'll come on to Leicester now. I think the stat was, I can't remember, maybe it was home goals. I think Leicester have not scored a home goal since Russell Martin was Southampton manager and Gary O'Neill was still Wolves manager. I think was the stat I heard.
Mad. In 8 hours, I think. 8 hours of home football. No goals.
I'm now going to have a look at the Leicester.
Now their block is a red block, apart from beating Spurs in the middle of January, but it's just red. There's no draws.
When did Ruud van Nistelrooy take over? From the 1st of December. So let's have a look from the 1st of December, what they've done.
Ruud van Nistelrooy has turned this football club around.
There were probably some people saying that after they beat Leicester.
Yeah.
After they beat West Ham, sorry.
Started with a win against West Ham on the 3rd of December. And barring that win at Spurs, it's been all defeats, hasn't it?
It has. He's one of their worst managers now, as we'll hear now, as Leicester Tide ITV1 talks through some of their worst ever managers.
He's still out
still
in public.
going.
Yeah.
Remember I said how many managers we'd had? 11?
Yes, 11, yeah.
Paulo Sousa had a 33.3% win rate.
Wow, did he? He was horrendous as well.
Yeah, he only played 12 games.
Yeah.
Claude Puel, 67 games, 34.3% win rate.
It was okay.
Dean Smith, 8 games, 25% win rate. Steve Cooper, 15 games, 20% win rate.
Trending.
Ruud van Nistelrooy, 20 games, 15% win rate. And he's still fucking here!
That simmering, murderous rage.
Do you want to know the real reason he's not happy with Ruud van Nistelrooy?
What is it?
I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy sat there shaking his head. We should shake it off.
Well, like Taylor Swift, or
no? It's a wanking joke.
Oh, right.
About him shaking it off.
Right.
That was all it was. They're not happy with Ruud van Nistelrooy.
They're not.
No, it's not going well. I don't think they're on board. I don't think they want to keep him for the rebuild.
Right.
I get the impression they'd rather start afresh.
But a young up-and-coming manager can go at it in the Championship.
No. I think they've lost enthusiasm.
Let's be fair. Ruud van Nistelrooy got that job because he's called Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because he scored a few goals in the Prem.
And he was at Scum just before. So they're like, I was in the country.
Yeah. And when
he can manage a club with expectations.
Yeah. And when he did those couple of games as caretaker, he stopped wearing a tracksuit and he wore like a bit of a natty long coat and like a little jacket and that Keith Hackett. And you know,
been down to Georgia Asda and getting himself out.
Sex sells. It doesn't win football games, as we've just heard. It wins 15% of football games.
Is that why we do quite well in the old numbers? Because sex sells.
Yeah, man.
Probably, yeah.
Decent audience and that.
Yeah. Look at this man to my right. Sex sells, baby.
Yeah. Oh, you made love to the camera then in a way that I know you've done before.
Yeah. Damn right.
But we don't need to talk about that. That's on a different website, not YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Where do we go next?
Should we finish on some Thogden?
Please.
Thogden last week was one of the Saudi shillers. He was the only one who wasn't actually a Newcastle fan. He just decided to do this. I'll just play the clip of him doing that thing.
70-year wait is finally over. Newcastle have a trophy.
Imagine the parade. 250,000 Geordies in the city centre. Limbs everywhere.
But where's the after party?
Big market?
No. Saudi Arabia.
What?
Just imagine Boulevard World in Riyadh, full of black and white. And it's actually easy to get there.
What about the visas, the flights, the hassle?
Online or on arrival. Plus, visitsaudi.com are doing a package deal where you can just get it all together.
So let me get this straight. Toon win a trophy, and suddenly we're going all Sean Longstaff and going travelling.
Sun, celebrations, and probably Joe Linton on a camel.
I've got to see that.
I know we do some shonky reads and that, but there's something really uniquely kind of like nails down the blackboard about that.
I just wrote down, right? I've been an actor for nearly 20 years. I've read some shit scripts. This is... It eclipses everything so comfortably. I worry that these two have never like read or said anything before in their lives. I've never heard of Thogden or what's his... Thogdad.
Thogdad.
Until last week, I'd never heard of any of them. And now I hate it.
Yeah.
I can sincerely say we never practice our reads.
Is that right?
No way.
We don't script them particularly.
But you know what?
And we don't
makes them far more authentic.
And we don't ever rehearse them. They've practiced that, and that's as good as it's got.
I was going to say just a little peek behind the curtain here about how we do that. It's like scripts like that are written by salespeople and marketing people, which they're doing it with the client's interests in mind. Obviously, when we do it very much with like Levi solicitors in mind. Those guys, because we like to look after them in the way that we do. We rewrite them and we make them organic and real and sound like humans are saying them. All right, and really underwhelming humans delivered in a really poor, shonky way. But you know, it's still real, isn't it? That's not real.
No, it's not. I wonder if the Joe Linton on a camel joke was given to them on a script, or whether or not they did. There was a bit like saying, "Can you make a joke at this point?" Because it is illegal. In Saudi Arabia to do so, but to
make jokes about camels,
to make a joke there is not allowed. But
so
you could try.
If they go there, it won't be Thogdad; it'll be Thogdead.
Potentially,
right?
Potentially,
that's a shame, isn't it?
So you can actually hear a bit of their pretend improv style in this next clip, because someone pointed me in the direction of them talking about the Saudi takeover when it happened. Their opinions were quite different then, but this is just a mention of Amanda Staveley and the sort of jarring nature of the natural conversation is amazing.
10% of Newcastle will be owned by Amanda Staveley. Now, she is a very interesting lady.
I've also heard her name before. Wasn't she part of the Man City deal when they got taken over?
That is correct.
How have these fuckers got a map? They've got...
It's insane, isn't it?
What sort of numbers do they do?
Oh, like millions.
Fuck off.
Do we need to try and strip all of the charm out of this show and just do this wank?
Fucking hell, I wouldn't leave much, would it? What little charm there is.
No, come on. There is, like when you guys are doing the Levi's raid, I was a listener for years. There is an element of charm. There is no charm in this. There is zero.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's so bizarre.
Now, do you want to hear what they had to say about the Saudis as a straight clip, or do you want me to... I've remade his advert with some of the original ones, so you can have one first, then the other, or you can just have the remade advert. I don't know.
You decide, because I don't really know what you're on about.
I think we should hear what they thought, and then I want to hear your mega mix.
Okay, cool. So this is what mainly Thogdad talking on this, admittedly, but he's talking about the Saudi takeover from the time.
But there's also a real moral side to this takeover.
Right.
Because Saudi Arabia, according to Amnesty International, has got one of the worst human rights records in the world. Last year, 184 people were executed.
Let's just remind people, the owner that wants to buy Newcastle United is the one who runs the country, Mohammed bin Salman.
Yeah.
He's the one who makes the rules,
Yeah.
makes the decisions as a country.
Yeah.
Right, politically, if they want to go do something as a country, he makes that choice. Do Newcastle really want to be associated with that?
Women were not allowed to drive until about a year and a half ago. If you were openly gay, you could be stoned to death. The treatment of minorities there is terrible. They're fighting a proxy war in a neighbouring country called Yemen.
Just to have a little search into Yemen, find out what's going on there, and then come back and then realise that's buying your club. And really assess, do you think that's the right decision?
I mean, so not only can they read awfully scripted reads provided to them by the Saudi Ministry of Tourism, they can also read their Wikipedia page. The Saudi Wikipedia page. Fucking hell. What I would say, Thog Dad and Thog Den, stay out the embassy.
God, yeah. God, yeah.
If you get invited there for a special dinner, don't fucking go.
Well, that was part of a longer...
Or actually, do.
That was part of a much longer clip, actually, so there's some additional bits in the final bit, but I've remade the advert because we said it lacked charm and stuff, so instead I've given it a bit more va-va-voom.
70-year wait is finally over. Newcastle have a trophy.
Imagine the parade. 250,000 Geordies in the city centre. Limbs everywhere.
He was a journalist, a Saudi journalist.
But where's the after party?
Big market?
No, Saudi Arabia.
What?
Saudi Arabia, according to Amnesty International, has got one of the worst human rights records.
Just imagine Boulevard World in Riyadh, full of black and white. And it's actually easy to get there.
What about the visas, the flights, the hassle?
Last year, 184 people were executed.
Online or on arrival. Plus, Visit Saudi.com are doing a package deal where you can just get it all together.
So let me get this straight.
Women were not allowed to drive until about a year and a half ago. If you were openly gay, you could be stoned to death.
Suddenly we're going all Sean Longstaff and going travelling.
Sun, celebrations.
The treatment of minorities there is terrible.
And probably Joe Linton on a camel.
I've got to see that.
Really assess, do you think that's the right decision?
Oh, mate, you've peaked.
That is fucking... Flames in the chat, everyone. Wow.
That's it. No more to say on this show. Just
it's yours to use, Thogden.
Congratulations.
The Square Ball Podcast.